right, hey, Shalom. Can y'all hear me all right? Can y'all hear me okay? Thumbs up. Thumbs up. All right, appreciate it, brother. All right, hey. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Qudash. Double honors due to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders that great millstone to rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety to the Lord's elect. All right, now as you can see from the title, all right, it states that what? World War III, drums are beating. Now, if you're, living under a rock, you wouldn't know, or you wouldn't be privy to the information that the good old U.S. of A., all right, the good old U.S. of A. Has attacked Venezuela and took their leader captive. Now we know that this is all over oil, okay? Now, times in the past when America, has invaded countries, okay, they always had an ulterior motive in mind, okay? Now, look at President Bush. All right, President Bush said that he was looking for what? President Bush said he was looking for what? Weapons of mass destruction. All right, but only thing they wanted was what? The poppy seeds, man. All right, and then it just goes on, man. All right, now this this flock. All right, now this current reason why they're invading this country, like I said, is because of oil. Because Venezuela has one of the biggest, if not the biggest, oil reserves on the planet. All right, so it's just a matter of time before America decided to bombard their country. All right, and take what's rightfully theirs, what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua gave them, okay, to sustain themselves. All right, America could have just, went in there and made a treaty, or just went in there and say, hey, can we get some of this oil, or made up something, a contract or something. But nah, what they want to do is they want to go scorched earth. All right, and when you look at that, the scorched earth, saying, a term basically is when a country wants to rob, a certain other country of their major resources, okay, and then leave them with nothing. Okay, you see that with what? Puerto Rico. You see that with Haiti. Okay, so hey man, hey, this has been at play. All right, this has always been at play, and this is America being tacky once again. All right, so I'm gonna start off with the book of Habakkuk. This is the book of Habakkuk. Salaki. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at the top. All right, and it reads, I will stand upon my watchtower and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. So when you go into this, basically it's saying to, notate the Bible, okay? And then, hey, when you run, okay, that means that you're in haste to go. Slaki. All right, let me start it again. And the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. So when you go into this, basically it's saying that, notate the book, okay, that he may run that reading. And when you run, okay, you're in haste. So, hey, if on both sides, when you read something and then you run, that means that you're swift to go into action. Okay, and also at the same time, you're swift to go tell people what of the things that are written in this book, right? Verse 4, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it. It will surely come, and it will not tarry. So there you go. Okay, just because it said that, you know, when this book was being annotated or being written down, all right, that was 2,000 years ago to this point. Now, if you read it and then say that, you know, certain prophets were reading this, they'd be like, dang, when is this going to happen? Okay, when is this appointed time going to happen? Right? But now we're at that time right now, man. We're at the appointed time to where the Lord is going to start making these things come to pass. All right. Verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not unrighted him, but the just shall live by his faith. Now we know that, you know, the white man, okay, Esau Edom, hey, he's not, his soul is not unrighted him. Okay. All right, he is the basis of men. Okay, and that's how the Lord, you know, set him up to be. All right, and there's nothing you can change that to do to change it. All right, Scripture say we look at this man as with a looking glass that's been white. You know, roughly paraphrasing. Yeah. All right. So, and it goes into basically describing this man. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth their home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is his death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto all people. So, you know, hey, no matter what, okay, the scripture said that, you know, he basically was given the world, but he's still not satisfied by it, man. Okay? And that's crazy because, you know, the Lord gave him everything that he could want. All right, when you go back into the blessings, okay, that you know, the Lord bestowed upon upon Esau. All right, and for ears to hear, let him hear, you know, because hey, Isaac, you know, was the Lord. All right, but anyway, yeah, it says, yeah, yeah, also because he is transgressive by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth their home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is his death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heap unto him all people. And what does that sound like? Colonization. Okay? Ever since these raggedy ass devils got up out the caves, all right, they've been doing nothing but raping, robbing, and murdering. Okay? And the scriptures say what? Woe to him, the thief come to kill, not to kill, steal, and destroy. All right, that's the only thing he came to do, man. All right? So, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. So how long are you going to continue to heap on, you know, resources to yourself? How long are you going to continue to heap on what? You know, countries to yourself? Okay, the scriptures say that he covered fields, and what? He covered fields, okay, and that he basically names him after his own name, roughly paraphrased. All right. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee and wait thee? Wait that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto him. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of thee shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, and of the city, Babylon the Great, and of all that dwell therein. Woe to them, or Slaki, woe to him that covereth the evil covetous to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Okay? Thou hast sowed a shame to our house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall allow it. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establisheth a city by iniquity. And how was this city, okay, Babylon the Great? Because to have a city, you have to have what? citizens. Okay, like our apostles told us. All right, to have a city, you have to have citizens. So that's why, you know, Babylon the Great is referred to as what? The Golden City. All right, how the Golden City have ceased, right? So, yeah, I'm gonna read it a little bit more. Behold, is it not in the hands of the Lord of hosts that the people shall labor in the very fire, and the people shall weary themselves with very vanity? For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth by a bottle to him, and maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. So that's what they've been doing, all right? The accuser of our brethren, all right, set things up, okay? So that when we take a drink of water, there's what? BPA in the bottles. There's chlorine, all right? When we eat food, what? There's poisons all in the food, all right? GMOs, all right? He wants to set us up to everything that we do, all right, can be found as a charge against us towards Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, all right? And he does that because he's still mad of the birthright. So he said, you know what? I'm going to basically, I'm going to attempt to sabotage these people, okay? In hopes of what? Getting the birthright backwards. That's not going to happen, okay? Not in this life and not in another, all right? So, let's go to the book of all right. Now, since I brought it out, let's go to the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Because this man don't know what, he don't know how to sit his ass at home, man. Okay? And he has to be taken out of the way because, man, this guy, if he was left up to continue, all right, the scriptures say no flesh shall be saved. Okay, if the Lord doesn't come back and deliver us from this place, it says that no flesh shall be saved. So he got to be taken out of the way, man. All right? And for y'all people that don't want this man to be taken out of the way, y'all going to be taken out of the way because y'all are stopping us from getting to the kingdom. All right? So here's the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. So the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, then where and who is it? So if the so-called white man is not Esau, Edom, the devil, then who is it? All right? That's what the scriptures are saying. Okay? Verse 2, and they covet fields and take them by violence in houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even abandon his heritage. And that's so true. All right, because, hey, they covet fields, which means that they have a deep desire to have them. Okay, and what do? They take them by violence. All right, and what do? They name the so-called, they name the lands that they conquer after their name. Okay, Leo Scipio Africanus. All right, Africa. All right, and what's the other one called? Amerigo Vespucci. All right, which was an Italian lawmaker. Okay, but they named America after him. But also at the same time, it's beautiful how the Lord did it, because they made America a feminine noun. I mean, a feminine. They made it feminine. All right. So, hey, and that's why the scriptures refer to America as Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon. All right, who should be destroyed. Right. So, yeah, that's it on that. Okay, so yeah, so they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. All right. So we're gonna do a little bit of expose on this cat, man. All right. Now let's go into the book of Revelation 11, because like I said, hey, war drums are beating. All right. The war drums are beating. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 9. No. Salaki, this is the book of Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Now, if you're not familiar of what the woes is in the Bible, all right, woes symbolize destruction, okay? And the three great wars, okay, they are likened to times of destruction, all right? And just so that you know, okay, World War I is documented in the Bible, all right? They don't have, you know, pretty much much about World War II, all right? But World War I is definitely in the Bible. I think it's around Revelation, the 9th chapter, okay, where it talks about, you know, the planes and everything like that. So, hey, bam, this book is a prophetic book, man. All right? The second woe is past, and the third woe cometh quickly. Okay, so the third war's war is coming quickly. And everything that you need to know is in this Bible, man. All right? Now, we go to Revelation 6. All right? This is the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 1. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it was the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, Come and see. And I beheld a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him. And he went forth conquering and to conquer. And that, you know, is talking about a chariot, but the man that's on that chariot is talking about who? Yahweh Shah. All right? Verse 3, and when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, Come and see. And there went out another horse that was red. Okay? Now, when you go into the scriptures, all right, in the book of Genesis, okay, it says that one of the children came out red and hairy all over like a garment. All right, that symbolizes Esau. Okay? Because when he came out, he was wasted away was he, a Shashua. Okay? He had no pigment, which basically showed, allowed his blood to show forth through his skin. Okay, so that's who that red horse is when it talks about that red horse. All right, it's talking about Esau Edom. All right. Verse 6, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Now, when you go into also the book of Genesis, okay, he was given a sword to conquer. His blessing was the sword, aka what? His military weapons, okay, everything that encompasses, you know, everything after the actual sword, okay. When you upgrade, all right, you got what? Missiles, you got bullets, you got and the icing on the cake is what? The thermonuclear missile. All right, so all of that encapsulates, if I use that word right. I'm always using words that I ain't got no business using, but it encapsulates everything that came after that. Okay, the sword, and includes the modern day sword. All right, so bam. So yeah, all right. Now let's go to, like I said. Actually, I'm gonna go to the book of Jeremiah, and one of my favorite chapters, all right, for, you know, explaining war that's to come. All right, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50. All right, and it reads, the word that the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Now, when you go into it, okay, Jeremiah, he was in the Babylonian captivity, but at the same time, he was prophesying about a future Babylon, aka Babylon the Great, which is America. Okay, so that's not too hard to understand. Verse 2, declare ye among the nations and publish, set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Baal is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken into pieces. Now, once Babylon the Great is destroyed, all of the idols are going with her. Okay? Every single idol All right, every single deity that y'all set up over here is going to be burnt up with this place, man. All right, and I'm tired of looking at Starbucks. I'm tired of looking at Starbucks. That damn bitch on the Queen of Heaven worship. All right, I'm tired of looking at Nike. Okay, all of these go back to a deity. All right. So, verse 3: For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, there shall depart both man and beast. So, once this place is destroyed, okay, no man is going to be over here. All right, and the beast for a little minute. All right, once the Lord, you know, is done doing His thing, then that's when the beast, because the scriptures do say that, you know, it's going to be basically filled with desert creatures, dolphin-like creatures. Okay, hey, and that's what it says. So, you know, you got to take this with a grain of salt. There's not going to be any men dwelling over here, but there's going to be dolphin creatures. All right. Verse 4: In those days and in that time, saith the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping. They shall go and seek the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, their power. All right, and that's what the elect are doing. All right, we're seeking the Lord right now while He may be found. Because it basically indicates a time that what? He's not going to be found. All right. Verse 5: They will ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, Come, let us join ourselves to the Lord in a perpetual covenant that shall not be broken. That's only talking about the people on this side. Okay, the Israelites was the only ones given the covenant, which means they're the only ones that can break the law, because the law is what? Breaking of the law is sin. Okay? You can read that in 1 John, the 2nd chapter, the 3rd verse, I believe. All right? Verse 6: My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. And what are they doing now? Okay, they're heaping to themselves itching ears. Okay, you know, so that, all right, you know, they're looking for the truth with stuff added to it. Okay. Now, when you go into these cats, okay, the Genesis cats and all that, they took the bag. All right. But at the same time, you know, you got certain things that are not true that are being added to the doctrine. Okay. And what? That includes what? The inclusion theology. All right. What is it? Apologists. You know, the apologias. All right. Apologists. All right. And you got even Bubble Out Blackfish. He used to preach about the mermaids, man. Okay, and portals under the pyramids, man. Okay, and that's bugged the hell out. All right. But anyway, yeah. Hey, they forgot. Y'all people have forgotten y'all resting place. All right, which is these scriptures. All right, the comfort. Okay, the comforter. Okay. Verse 7: All that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, We offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the habitation of justice, even the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the hope of their fathers. Remove out of the midst of Babylon, and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as the he-goats before the flock. Now, how are we going to get out of Babylon? Okay? We're going to get out of Babylon by what? Fleeing this place, you know, in a spiritual sense. Okay? We're not adhering to what? The beast, his image, and his mark. Okay? The beast, the image, and his mark. Okay? And we're not staying upon him that smote us. Okay? Scriptures say that it will soon come that, you know, that we will not stand upon him that smote us. Okay? And what has Babylon the Great done to smote us left and right? Okay, cheek to cheek. All right? You know, and that started when y'all black ass came over here on them slave ships, man. All right. So, verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. But then she shall be taken, the arrow shall be of a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain. So that means that basically, okay, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to set thermonuclear missiles to destroy this place, man. All right? Point blank period. You know? And verse 10, and Chaldea, okay, shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord. So, hey, this landmass over here in America is also known as what? Chaldea, okay? the land of the Chaldees, Exodus. You know, it's known as Nineveh. Okay, it's known as Assyria. All right, it has many code names, man. All right. So, the Redeemer is like, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children Slaki. Yeah, skipped on me, all right? Verse 8, remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans and be as the he-goats before the flocks. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain. So like I said, okay, the Lord's going to send thermonuclear missiles on this place, man. All right, and you ain't got to believe it, but when that siren goes off, okay, and you feel that heat, all right, from the from the atmosphere, you know it's going to be too late. Then you shall know that a prophet have been among you. All right. So let's go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37. Because you may ask, you know, what nations are going to be round about you? All right. And here you go. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38. And the word of the Lord, it's like, and the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. So that's basically talking about the Japhetic lands, okay, which is known as the land of the Scythians, all right, no man's land, okay, and also now it's known as, well, it was known as the land of the Medes, okay, but now it's known as the landmass of Russia, all right. So, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, not Gog and Magog, but Gog, the land of Magog, right? The chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks in our jaws, all right, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine enemy, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. So this is basically talking about Russia. Okay, he's going to establish that spirit of the USSR that they once had. Okay, and you know, like the scriptures say, okay, better is the end of a thing than the beginning of it. All right, better is the end of a thing than the beginning of it. And when you go into when you go into, I think it's Daniel, but when you go into the, let me see, let me bring it up real quick. Daniel 8. Yeah, that's talking about the other, but this is the book of Revelation, chapter, yeah, this is book of Revelation. All right, the other one was talking in Daniel. Okay, but this is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, and verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. Okay, so that bear is talking about what? Russia. Okay, that mouth as the mouth of a lion, that's talking about Great Britain, because that's basically where your legislations come out of, Great Britain, right? And his mouth as the and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Okay, so there you go. The Roman Empire basically is the reason why they are at the point that they're at. Okay, so yeah. So going back to Ezekiel, all right, verse 4. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Okay, and yeah, verse 5. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. So when you go into it, you know, Persia is still known as what? Iran. Well, Iran is known, well, yeah. Iran is known as Persia. All right, they still use that code name. All right, Ethiopia, okay, and Libya, with all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer, all right, with all his bands, the land of Torgamar in the north quarters, and all his bands and many people with thee. So that's talking about Turkey and all that northern area right there. All right. After many days, thou shalt be visited in the latter years. Thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste. But it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. So there you go. All right. Now, before I go back in Jeremiah 50, let me get this. All right, this is the book of Joel. The book of Joel, chapter 3. And verse 10. Slaki, I'm going to go 9. Joel 3 and 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. All right, prepare war. All right, verse 9. Proclaim ye this amongst the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. All right, so, hey, that's how you know that, you know, hey, we're at war. Okay, the Lord basically set this to be written. Okay, the things that are written before time were written for our learning. Okay, so it's hitting hard right now because what? These are the times that we're in. All right, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong. So when you beat your plowshares into swords, okay, that's not talking about melting down the plowshare and beating the swords. No, that's talking about taking funds that was allocated to what? Taking funds that was allocated to agriculture, okay, and then putting it into your military. All right, and look what they're doing with Kill Gates. Okay, they got him buying up all of the, farmland. Okay, just to be able to at the end be able to, put the farmers against a rock in a hard place. Okay, so where they can be like, you know what, hey, putting these farmers between a rock and a hard place. All right, so they can be like, basically tell them to, y'all ain't gotta produce this no more. They're gonna burn it and, basically do away with the farms. Okay, just so they can use food as a weapon. All right, when we go into the MOTB. All right, so hey, they're gonna weaponize food. All right, so verse 11, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened, and come up to the valley of Yahweh-Shaphat, for there I will sit to judge all the heathen round about. Okay, the valley of Yahweh-Shaphat, all right, is basically the valley of the Lord's judgment. Okay, so it's the valley of the Lord's judgment. All right. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. So there you go. Okay, and the valley of decision is over there in the Middle East, all right, in the Levant. Okay, because that's our homeland and home base. All right, but don't worry, because pretty soon it's going to be given back to us. All right, through the spirit and power of what? Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. Okay, so verse 15, the sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. The Lord also shall roar out of Zion, and utter his voice from Jerusalem and the heavens, and the earth shall shake, but the Lord will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. So once these thermonuclear missiles get shot off, okay, the earth is going to shake. Okay, and the sun and the moon and the stars are going to withdraw their shining because of the thick nuclear fallout, okay, and from those thermonuclear missiles. All right. So let's go to the book back into Jeremiah 50. All right, and it reads, verse 11. Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass and mellow as bulls. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hintermost of the nations shall be as a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. And that's talking about what? Babylon the Great. Okay? Because it said that the hintermost of the nations, all right, shall be as a what? Shall be as a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Now, this is talking about Babylon the Great, because when you go into how the world is set up, all right, this is basically the fourth part of the world. Okay, this is the fourth part of the world. So this would actually make it the hintermost part because it was the last to be discovered. Okay, now Christopher Columbus, he didn't come over here and discover the Americas. He discovered parts of South America, all right, and some Central America, all right. He didn't have anything to do with North America, okay. But the conquistadors, okay, they came later, all right, and they actually, took everything from this place, okay, and put the people into what? Slavery, all right. So, because of the verse 13. Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, for it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goes by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at her plagues. Okay, because you got all these nations that were in bed with Babylon the Great. Okay, and once they, see that it's destroyed, they're gonna hiss. Okay, they're gonna shake their head. They're gonna, hey, just as the scriptures say, man. Okay. Right. So, shout. Slakia, verse 14, put yourselves in array against Babylon, round about, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. Shout against her round about, she hath given her land, her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down, for as the vengeance of the Lord, take vengeance upon her, as she hath done, do unto her. Cut off the sword from Babylon, and he that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest. For the fear of the oppressive sword, that they shall turn everyone to his people, and they shall flee everyone into his land. Okay, so there you go. All right. Now, we're going to go to the book of Jeremiah chapter 51, okay? Because Jeremiah 50 and 51 is basically like, chapters that run into each other, okay? Sometimes in the scriptures, you will have a chapter that'll come after a chapter, and then it'll, go elsewhere. But this is a continuation, so to speak. All right, verse 51. Slakia. Jeremiah 51 and 1. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. And what's that destroying wind? It's thermonuclear missile fire, ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missile. Okay. And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. For in the day of troubles they shall be around her, against her round about. And from my recollection, these fanners is basically talking about the angels, man. All right, because the angels are gonna get busy at that time as well. The angels are gonna be, oh no, the wind is getting out of control. It's not gonna hit the part that we needed, where the Lord needs it, so they'll bring it back. Okay, because this is gonna be basically a controlled demolition. Okay, the Lord knows exactly where every missile is going to hit, what every part of this landmass known as America is going to get hit. Okay, so he's going to have his angels to direct everything that it needs to go. And it said that basically his spirit is going to be in those in that fire. All right. So against him that let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth up in his brigandine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly her hosts. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they are thrust through in her streets. For Israel have not been forsaken. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, of the Lord of hosts, though his land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, okay? And just like I said in the 50th chapter, okay, it talks about fleeing Babylon, okay? In a sense of fleeing it spiritually, okay? Because we don't have, charter jets, okay? Or, what's that jet that Floyd Mayweather that he sold? Okay. Hey, Babylon is through, man. All right. Hey, Floyd Mayweather, bro. But anyway, flee out of the midst of Babylon. So basically, just flee this place. All right. Spiritually. All right. Don't go and try to, jump on a cargo ship or however, you want to get out of the country. All right. Hey, it's not going to work. Okay? Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, and that made all the earth drunken. Okay? It's like I didn't even read 6. Jeremiah 51:6, flee ye out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. And what's that recompense? A good old grade A ass whooping. All right. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. So the nations have got in bed with Babylon. Okay, just like when you get in bed with a harlot and them spirits get on you. Okay, hey, the doctrines, the philosophies of this place has gotten on Babylon the Great. And it says what? That they are mad, therefore the nations are mad, which means that they're bugged out, they lost their mind, but also they're angry at this place, man. All right. So, verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so, she may be healed. So that means that this place does not have any type of, this place doesn't have any type of reconciliation, okay, for it. Any type of healing, all right, because the Lord has already set it up in his mind to destroy this place. All right, all praise to how about Shem Yahushua. And hey, the Lord said that he puts his name, his word above his name. Okay, which means that nobody can break the Lord's word. All right, he holds his word that high. All right, to where it's on the level of his name, which means that hey, he will not break his word for anyone. All right, verse 9. We would have healed Babylon. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone in his own country. For her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even into the skies. The Lord has brought forth righteousness come, and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord our power. So there you go. All right, hey, all praise to Yahweh. Now, all right, let me go to the book of Matthew, chapter 24. And y'all should know where I'm going with it. Matthew 24 and Matthew 24 and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. All right, and we've been hearing of wars and rumors of wars, all right, ever since America has basically became a country. All right, and now the Lord is saying, hey, we're at the end. Hey, now it's time to really pay attention, because at any time, hey, this thing's gonna get set off. All right. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Okay, so we're fastly approaching, okay, the time of the end, the time of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, basically setting this place on fire, man. All right, good riddance. All right, now let's see. Let's go to the book of Second Ezra, the 13th chapter. Now, this scripture, or this book, basically details, okay, the Lord's return, okay, because the Lord is going to come back, all right, he's going to destroy this place, but it's basically setting up everything that's going to happen, and putting it into basically a like a storyline, all right, storyline, all right. And it's basically going in great detail about how the nations, okay, the nations and everybody else, all right, they're going to come up to fight against Yahushua, all right, but they're going to ultimately epically fail. All right, this is 2 Ezra 13:1, and it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there rose a wind from the sea, and it moved all the waves thereof. Okay? And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, Slack. And Second Ezra 13:1. And it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, and it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen unto him. Now this is talking about our Lord and Savior, man. Okay? And when he comes back in his angelic form, okay, he said, I will not meet thee as a man. Okay? Let's go and get that. All right, this is the book of Isaiah 63. Who is this that coming from Edom? Now, this is basically Isaiah seeing what Ezra was seeing in the book of Second Ezra. Okay, the 13th chapter. Who is this that coming from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? That is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength, I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine. Okay, so basically it's symbolic for all the bloodshed that Yahweh Shah is going to bring when he returns. All right, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. So what does that sound like? All right, that sounds like the Lord's coming back to hand out popsicles, okay, and pamphlets, okay. No, man, he's coming out to dish out, basically that anger, okay, and that vengeance that he had from 2 days ago. Okay, because the scriptures say that the days of the Lord is 1,000 years. 1 day to the Lord is 1,000 years. All right. So, for the day of my vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. And I looked, and there was none to help. And I wondered that there was none to help. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury have helped me. Okay. So there you go. All right. Yeah. Now, that actually went into it, but I actually wanted to get meet thee as a man. Yeah. Isaiah 47:3, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So the Lord said he would not meet you as a man. He will meet you in his angelic, force, all right? Like a created player, right? So, back in the book of Second Ezra, chapter 13. All right, it reads, and whatsoever, verse 3, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that was seen under him. So he had a very fierce countenance. All right. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth with fire. All right, so basically wherever he decided, okay, to point a direct a concentrated fire out of the missiles, that's where it went. Okay, verse 5, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. So you're going to have people coming from every part of the planet, all right, as per their respective what? Military, to try to combat Yahweh Shah. Okay? And it's not going to happen. It's going to be an epic fail. All right? Verse 6. And I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. All right? So that great mountain is talking about a chariot. Okay? But I would have seen the region, the place whereof the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. So the Lord's going to have to make these people fight. Okay? It's going to be an unfair fight. All right? Because your dumbass, you basically are part of the military. Okay? And then when it's time for you to do your duty, if you're that unlucky to, be found to be in the military, you're going to get totally destroyed. Okay? So, hey, if you're a centurion, hey, just get up out of that shit. All right? So, verse 10. Verse 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came in, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, and it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden, on an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke, which I saw. This I was afraid. Okay. Afterward saw I the same man come down from the mountain, and called unto him another peaceable multitude. So that's the Israelite foreigners. Okay, coming into the grace of the Lord, man. All right. So let's go. Let's go. All right, and we're going to just get some Babylon scriptures, symbolizing that it's going to be destroyed. All right, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 17. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying to me, come hither, I will show thee unto the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. And that great whore that sitteth upon many waters, okay, is Babylon the Great, and that waters represent people. All right, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So these other nations have gotten drunk off the philosophies, okay, of Babylon the Great. All right. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, all right, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. So, basically America, all right, is sitting as a harlot, okay, because it committed fornication with all of the countries of the world, man. All right. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed with purple and scarlet color, okay, representing what? Royalty, okay, opulence, if I use that word right. All right. And decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Symbolizes what? The basically all of the babblings, okay, that America, and not only America, Britain and all them, but basically America has been saying, thinking, but saying, all right, through their legislation. Okay, verse 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother of harlots, and the abominations of the earth. So that's America, Babylon the Great. Okay? And that's the mystery. Mystery Babylon. All right? Verse 6, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Okay, so John was looking at this whore, and he was, basically in awe. All right, his jaw was on the floor. But then look, the angels are going to rebuke him. And the angels said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carried her, which have the 7 heads and the 10 horns. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. So basically, that beast that you saw, okay, representing the Roman Empire, okay, and it also represents Babylon the Great, because Babylon is going to come back, okay, as Rome 2.0. All right, Rome is going to come back as Babylon the Great, aka America. All right. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is. And here is wisdom which have is, and here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the whore sitteth, okay, EU. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. All right, let's talk about Britain. And the beast that was and is, he is even the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. So basically, that 8th beast, all right, is Rome, all right, coming back, that deadly wound being healed. All right. So these have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's go to the book of Isaiah, the 47th chapter. And it reads, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne. O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. So from, all the way up to the point, okay, when the atrocities of this place started to come out, all right, they looked at Babylon the Great as, oh, it's the golden city. Just like I said earlier, the golden city. Who is like the beast? Who is like Babylon the Great that can make war? All right. But the scriptures also say what? The hammer of the whole earth shall suddenly be broken asunder. That's talking about what? Babylon the Great. All right. Because Babylon the Great was once a superpower in the world, but now that's being taken over by what? Russia, China, all right? But they also in cahoots, but the Lord is going to have it to where, hey, they're not going to fill in the spot of Babylon the Great, okay? Hey, Babylon is the last to rule, all right, and it's going to be taken down, and all the other nations, all right, that took it down is going to be taken down with it. And guess what? The kingdom of Israel is going to be set up, okay, a righteous kingdom, all right? Take the millstone and grind meal, and cover thy lots, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, just like I said, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. Okay, and that's perfect, because I just was quoting it, and that's the spirit. I quoted it, and then the Lord had it to where, I came across it, full circle. All right. As for our Redeemer, The Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into the darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, but thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. Okay, when you think about a lady, okay, you know, tender, delicate, okay, but not this rabbit short, man. This one's about to be rabbits, and it's about to be, hey, they, like the scriptures say, the nations are gonna look on Babylon, and you know, is this the nation? Let me get it. That did this rule of kingdoms, shake of kingdoms. Yeah. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 16. And it reads, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. So there you go. All right. Verse 6, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou shouldest thou show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. And thou said, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Therefore hear now this, that thou art given to pleasures that dwelleth carefully, that saith in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I will not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment. In one day, loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thine sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. All right. So, you know, basically, this whole structure of America has been built up by the witchcraft of old. Okay, all of these, well, especially Esau, Edom, but they basically tapped into the ancient, you know, the Assyrian, okay, the Hamitic tribes, all right, and they went and got their shit back, okay, from these nations, okay, and used it to build up Babylon the Great. All right, but hey, it says, stand now with thy enchantments. All right. For thou. All right. All right, Salaki. It says, stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries wherein thou hast labored. Salaki. Stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and say, all right, slacken. Stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before. They shall, thus shall they be unto thee, with whom thou hast labored, even thou merchants, from thy youth, thou shalt warn everyone to his quarter, none shall save thee. Okay? So, hey, you know, hey, the scriptures are faithful, the scriptures are true. Hey, the Lord said that no one will be able to save Babylon the Great. Okay, it's basically, you know, like I said earlier, okay, if there was bomb, okay? I mean, yeah, let me close it with that. All right. That's Isaiah, Jeremiah. Yep. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 8. All right, and it reads, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted unto the skies. The Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, our power. So, hey, if you don't want to accept the fate of Babylon the Great, then you're going to be, what? A part of that fate, okay, which is thermonuclear missile fire, okay, beating the dust and the powder, all right, and, you know, the ones of the elect, okay, you know, hey, we're going to come down basically from New Jerusalem. I mean, we're going to be New Jerusalem coming down from the heavens, okay, to restore order back on the planet, okay? We don't know what that entails, how long we're going to be up there, but hey, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua knows, and I'm ready for it. I know y'all brothers ready for it. Hey, we're stepping into 2026. May your, you know, loins be girded, because it's going to be very hard out here. But hey, if you are part of the elect, you have nothing to worry about, because the elect have the victory. So Lord willing, that was edifying. I want to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, B'kah Kadash. Double honors due to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and safety to the Lord's elect. Shalom.